listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show.
Get up, get on the floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Living on the dance floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Get up, get on the floor. Living on the dance floor.
Hold up. No, you did not try to come from my little line.
I'm still giving you Gaga pose.
Excuse you?
No, you can let that pose go. No, you did not come from my echo.
Excuse you?
You know what, Giselle?
You're my echo. I was still
Actually,
singing.
y'all
No.
both sound stupid on the echo.
Get your life, Giselle.
What's up,
Tried to steal
everybody?
my echo.
You are watching the Dance Moms recap on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, Giselle Ugarte, here with my amazing co-hosts to help me out. To my left, over here.
Oh, it still smells like your burp, Giselle.
Shh, Jason.
Jason J. Carter here. How you doing, After Buzzers?
And over here.
Hi.
Did you just do a
I'm
reveal?
Tony Moore.
Do you want to try that again?
Try it
It didn't
again.
go very well.
Just hold on. Hi, I'm Tony
No,
Moore.
you got D. T.
We'll work on it.
No,
We'll
you gotta
work
do it
on
like
it.
this.
No, you don't have the cup with you. Should I try it with the cup now?
No,
You
because
gotta
you're
do-
going to spill on
you
my
gotta
phone.
do like
No, I'm not.
the reverb. The reverb bounds.
Hi, I'm Tony Moore.
I think you got
And
it
this
that
is
time.
AfterBuzz TV at 10.
As always, I'm live tweeting at Giselle Ugarte. If you want to join in the conversation, you can give us a call. We're in Studio B, 424-256-1633. If you're joining us at home, thank you so much for joining our live feed. If you're joining us tomorrow, well, thanks for waking up with
Welcome to
us.
YouTube.
Hey,
How you doing over there, China?
make sure you give us a little thumbs up and like it. Anyway, so we had another 2-hour episode tonight. Again, totally unnecessary 2 hours, except for I did like that we got to see some full routines. Yes? Are you laughing at me or are you laughing at the show?
Both, because Giselle, I love how like you're so put together and such like you're so like Miss America, and then when you go ham, you're like another unnecessary 2-hour episode. I gotta drive back down to 405. Get your life.
That's my line.
Having several seats. I know. I'm actually gonna trademark those.
You can't
so you and
trademark
Tamar can all have a seat.
We'll see who gets there first.
Where?
The trademark.
You tried it.
You tried it?
Well, I got the echo first, so.
know.
No, I had to
Yeah,
go first.
both of you. The echo's stupid.
Ain't that,
Stupid.
ain't that the pot calling the kettle?
Hey, I is special. I is
you
important.
you is kind. You is not smart. And you is not important.
So tonight's
relax.
episode was a whole chock full of a lot of stuff that was just wrong and dumb. And yeah,
I thought you were going to say chocolate, and then I was going to make a comment about Abby's orange face.
okay, chocolate. Go ahead.
Abby's face was very orange.
Not
That's the
setup.
new trend. I mean, drag queens are doing it.
But
That's
we did enter this episode with just a lot of faults and a lot of blame and a lot of chaos because nobody won last week, not even Maddie in Minnesota, because like I said, Minnesota's got some good dancers going on up in
And
there.
some really good moccasins. Minnetonka moccasins
yes.
were awesome.
Yes, that's my friend's dad's company actually.
And
Grew
don't
up
forget
around
about
him.
Mall of America.
And Janet Jackson and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Okay.
Minneapolis.
Okay. So Abby says that they're losing touch with the old Abby Lee winning dance company. Who's to blame here, you guys? It's the moms? Because Abby seems to think so.
I don't think. I
the
honestly, I don't think
girls?
it's the moms. I think
Is
it's
it the cameras?
it's the ebb and
Is it the
flow of.
glam?
It's the ebb and flow of.
Not the
Of
ebb
a
and flow.
company, ebb and flow mean like how water ebbs and flows, how things come and go, like in life. It's a term of endearment, it's a phrase. Get with it, get your life. No, but I think every team goes through that. Case in point, When I was in high school, our dance team was the winningest team in the state. They won state every year.
Okay.
Yes, every year. And then, as you know, it's a cycle. 4 years later, they weren't the winningest team. So same thing with dance schools and dance competitions and dance teams. You have times when you're at the top of your game, when you're kicking ass, and then you have times where it's a lull. You know, they'll come back to it. What I think Abby has unrealistic expectations for her team. It's good to want to win all the time. It's good to want to be a champion, but you have to also understand that that's not always going to happen.
I think it's good that they haven't been, and I've said this so many times before. I'm glad that they haven't been getting the first places all the time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they had to eat this, gigantic humble pie.
Crow.
I'm sorry, what?
Eat crow. I thought it sounds
okay.
so gross. Totally space.
This gigantic 0-calorie humble pie. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily think the team was in a funk. I thought the choreography was sucking.
Well, that dig, before I came to AfterBuzz tonight, I watched the dig routine from last week with the shovels.
Are you still on the dig?
I
routine?
am. It was so bad. I don't know. Someone should be fired
Get
for that one.
over it.
But you're right, Giselle.
It
I do
was.
think the choreography, the dancers
It's been a little lackluster,
a little lackluster.
as you like to say.
Girl, it's been like
again,
tragic.
They learned the dance only in a matter of days. They didn't have months to prepare like many of the other teams did. They crank out those routines, winning routines.
They do.
Days.
But I don't know. It's no excuse.
But they're not winning routines.
Well, not last week.
Just it's more quantity now than quality when it comes to the choreography, because in the real world, outside of TV land and reality TV, choreographers come in and set a routine that's very specific, and they know that the choreography that they're giving and they're setting on these kids is winning. It's good stuff because it's inspired, it's involved. For the show though, it's like,
and it's not like they've never not done that before. This show's been going on for a while, and unless they've changed the duration of filming and they're really maybe going to more competitions more often than usual, like maybe they're filming more often, I don't know. I wasn't impressed, but I'm glad that this week, we get back on the train. And
Bus.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Mackenzie, unfortunately, is
Mackenzie.
her spotlight is still dimmed.
has dimmed.
She's a bench warmer.
She is.
She's a cute
But
one
she's
though.
kind of a proud bench warmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
She ain't
is.
stressing. She's 7 years old and
Miss Abby thinks that I did cartwheels with my hurt ankle, and I didn't. Slow motion flashback cartwheels.
I know. She's like backhand tugs, everything.
Did you forget? First off, are we gonna? We're on Mackenzie now, right? I can bring this up.
Yeah.
About the fact that she's locked up in her room doing YouTube videos.
Makeup tutorials.
First
That's
off,
the thing now.
She is what, 7, 8?
8, I think 8.
8. What are you doing makeup tutorials?
It's all the YouTube thing. Clearly,
But-
you haven't watched my videos.
Have you watched mine?
Yeah.
Lies and
Lounge in
Lies and
I'm
Deceits.
subscribed.
Lies, fairy tales, motion pictures.
Either way, a lot of little girls are doing it as long as it's supervised. Obviously,
It's not
her mom is
supervised
watching.
though.
But her mom's it is supervised though. Her mom knows what she's doing.
Once
She
it's
watches the
already
videos
posted.
afterward. You can always take it down. I mean,
Still, but once it's up, it's up. Somebody has seen it. Somebody has made a copy of it. Somebody has sent it to somebody's friend. And then Melissa was even like, "Oh, one time she took my credit card and for iTunes."
For iTunes.
I'm sorry, but like when I was growing up, that's grounds for getting your behind whooped.
okay.
For some whoopings.
Okay.
Belt.
That's what's wrong with kids nowadays, is that there's too much social media. Whatever happened to Looney Tunes and Frosted Flakes? That was entertaining.
I will agree with that. Yeah, and the little Etch-a-Sketch and the little iron.
I had a
BB.
Game Boy and a Game Gear.
Thank you, Marissa.
Back in the
And
90s.
Skip
Light
It.
Bright,
Light Bright.
Light
a
Bright.
hula hoop,
Connect 4.
where people
Jenga. Sorry.
When I was growing up,
Candyland,
people used
Apples
to
to
ask to
Apples.
go outside. People don't do that no more.
I never. But see, I was a rotten, spoiled brat of a kid, so I never asked to go outside. I just went. That's why I almost got
But it was
abducted.
a matter of that you went outside.
Right.
Now everybody's inside, Instagramming, tweeting, Facebooking.
That's
that-
true. They
making
do. They
YouTube
do
stuff.
have all. They all have
But
Instagrams.
everyone was inside in my day playing Nintendo, playing Super NES. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself right now.
Well,
but
now
Okay,
they're
granted,
now
for a
instead
little
of
bit.
being behind the TV screen video game, they're in front of the computer.
Right, but they are computers and tech savvy, which you got to give them credit for. But I think Mackenzie doing these videos is cute. It's adorable.
It's cute. I mean, would I let my kid do it at 7 years old? Absolutely not. So I'm
No,
not going to
that's too
completely disagree with
young.
you there. But it is definitely something that's,
She's found another
they're
hobby.
different. They're different.
Pick up sewing.
Perhaps. Paige is stuck at the bottom. Kelly seems to think that it's her fault or that Abby has something against them. Do we think that's true?
No.
That's what
She's stuck
Kelly
at the
thinks every
bottom?
week.
Kelly's so Kelly is so paranoid. Girl, take a Xanax and have a seat.
Several.
She probably does.
Actually, Wellbutrin will take care of that whole paranoia thing. I can attest to that. Yes, have a
What are you, the
Wellbutrin.
pusher man?
Okay, before we start prescribing medication,
All of a sudden, Dr.
let's
Jason
step back
J.
a little
Carter.
bit.
No, but Kelly is paranoid. I think she's paranoid that Abby's
She's
out to get her.
always like that.
And Abby's not. Abby's out to get everyone. Abby doesn't care. You know.
That's
Sometimes
true.
it's Jill. Sometimes it's Melissa.
It is.
She cares about the kids.
Christy has been a little reserved though. We've seen Christy being nicer.
Because she's starting to get it.
Right. She's like, you know what? Let me just shut my mouth. I got new hair extensions in. I don't want to get them pulled out. Let me just chill
like,
and
I'm
fall
good.
back.
Because she knows that it means so much to Chloe.
Right.
Right.
And so Brooke's at the bottom. Chloe finally, yay!
She's playing the
She's
game.
finally-
Because Chrissy's been quiet.
Right.
Yeah. She's finally back on the pyramid, and she's not at the bottom, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie's next to her. Kendall's next to her.
With the new headshot.
Was that big of a deal?
No, I think they all should follow suit and get new headshots. We've been saying that since the beginning.
But here's the thing. It goes along with them thinking that Jill does stuff on the sly and is very sneaky. It's like, why didn't she go, you know what? I'm kind of tired of Kendall's picture. I think we're going to like maybe change it up or something like that.
Hello, Kelly and Melissa. Kelly had like the photo shoot for Paige in Hollywood, and Melissa does like agent meetings behind their back and sends her out on
But this
auditions.
is-
So
but
what's
this
the
is-
big deal about
this
it's a
is different.
headshot?
This is different. This is like in your face stuff. Like Kendall's
It's blatant.
Yeah, Kendall's the only person with a totally different headshot.
So wouldn't it be better that it's in front of everybody's face rather than behind their backs and in secret?
It's not uniform. It's supposed to be a team. You're presenting the team on the pyramid, and there's one person with a totally different look and a totally different photo. It sets them
But
apart.
is
Right.
it giving her an advantage? It's not something that no one else can
Yes.
do.
Well, here's the thing
Jill
though.
paid for it,
Of course, she may have paid
perhaps.
for it, but image is everything. So
Yeah.
by having Kendall have this glamour shot circa 1995 for her picture
It's a cute
on the
picture,
pyramid,
though.
it's
Too
a
much
great
makeup.
picture. It's a great picture.
I think she was probably born in 1995.
It sets her apart. It
does.
for real sets her apart. It's ups the ante because it makes the other girls look lackluster.
Well, I, to an extent, have to say that I sometimes appreciate Jill being the way that she is because I feel like it sort of keeps everybody else,
On their toes?
On their toes.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, what she should have said was, you know what, guys, I was getting Kendall's picture, redone. We were thinking about that, and I thought all the girls should come and get their photos taken, and we'll make it like a girls' day.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose one reason why I also don't feel like Jill was at fault was also because some of these women that have been around for longer, their girls are being submitted to professional things, and their girls don't look particularly different. And I think Kendall actually looks physically different, and she's also transformed as a dancer.
But for me,
So I think she was also like behind.
But it's not about what they do outside. I'm specifically just talking
Okay.
about the pyramid.
pyramid.
The overall look of the pyramid is that you're presenting the team.
Okay.
And so the team photo should look the same. If you were doing cheerleading and all of a sudden your mom decided, you know what, we're not going to use Olin Mills. We're going to go over here next door to little Jeanette, and she has a whole little studio, and then all of a sudden
The Jostins.
the team photo is displayed, and little
Okay.
Sally is totally different
Okay.
from everyone else.
I mean, yeah.
All right, I see that. I guess I always just imagined that it was like their photos weren't displayed anywhere but within that. Okay,
We
get
see
it.
them.
I get it. Okay. Next up on the pyramid was Nia, who was the top of the pyramid.
Yay!
I mean-
In fact, Abby Lee makes a Beyonce reference.
Too far. But we're happy
That's
that
what I
Nia is on the top of the pyramid.
was like,
It
too
will
much.
snow in Los Angeles this week.
Do you think Nia's placement was well deserved, or was it
Yeah.
just a reason for Abby to be like, well, since you're at the top, you get to be Rosa Parks?
Well,
And it's not just because you're black.
We're gonna talk about that because that on this show they have severe racial issues because they had what's her face on Ultimate Dance Competition talking about she's doing this for her people, an African dance for her people. She's white as snow.
Right.
And then you have Nia.
That was a great dance, though, by the way.
It was a great, amazing dance.
That was
but she was like,
wasn't
It
that
was an
Anthony
African,
Burrell
though.
piece?
it was an African piece, and
remember they called it African, and, it was
and
nobody's
Yeah.
African.
Brianna did it for her people.
And Anthony Burrell's people.
Anthony's. Oh, there we go. Her people. Random. Wonderful.
I'm pretty sure he choreographed it.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's stereotypical black dude, no sunglasses at night. You know, that's how we roll. I don't know what's going on with this show. They need an Oprah intervention.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well,
Speaking of Nia, I was kind of surprised that she was up at the top. I thought she was doing pretty good, but I was surprised to see her at the top. It was almost kind of like you're the only one that didn't really make mistakes. So I guess I'll put you up there.
here you go.
It's like by default, boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it was a part of it was probably just Abby being like, you know what? I kind of feel like spoiling you this week, so we're just gonna say that you're at the top so that I have an excuse to. And then she wants to style Holly, which I didn't really think Holly needed styling.
That came out of left field because Holly has kind of been on point. Like she's
Holly's always been on point.
Yeah, she comes
She's got
in,
this
hair
whole like
done.
principal school teacher look,
Yeah.
even though she doesn't do that anymore.
She's
but
almost kind of like, first lady. Like
Right,
she comes
very
in,
Michelle
Obama.
Obama. Yeah.
very put together. And then Abby was like, I've been wanting to make you over for a while. I want to be like, really, Abby? Because you wearing your Abby Lee t-shirt and pants.
your orange sun.
And your crunchy hair.
And your pink lipstick.
And your hair crunched. But I thought Holly looked great with, the nice color this week. And it was pressed and relaxed. Got that creamy crack going on. And then she had, some pieces. And good for you, Holly. Look good on you.
Yeah, Holly looked great.
I always think she looks good, though.
Yeah.
The girls are going to Powerhouse Dance Competition in Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's not intensity?
It's not intensity.
Shut the front door.
I know.
That's very Prius of them.
We're going to go back to that again.
I've been saying it all week. Prius.
Speaking of Prius, like last week we said that was creeper car, right? Okay, first of all, I was getting gas on the way here, right? And there was this
Does
guy.
this have anything to do with Dance Mom? You know what? I want to hear. I want to
Nope,
hear
it
it.
sure
I know our
doesn't.
fans want to hear it too.
So there was this guy with a Prius that was right behind me. Did not know he had left because it was silent. The whole all of a sudden the car just moved, and I was
Did
like,
you get teleported?
Was it black? Was it a black car?
no,
was it Ninja Prius?
no, it was a white. It was a white Prius.
Oh, it was Angel Prius.
Yeah, and as soon as it drove off,
Ghost Prius.
I said to myself, I was like, those cars scare me because I didn't even know the car was turned on because you usually hear a.
I mean,
and then you can go.
You could do a drive-by in one,
you heard
right?
Nothing. You heard nothing in that Prius. I didn't hear it coming. I didn't hear it going, and it made me nervous.
Yo, in South Central, those are the new drive-by cars. You can't hear them, dog. It's just like they rolled up on a Prius, dog. And
Don't you give people no idea.
Poor Toyota.
Inappropriate.
It's all good. I'm just keeping it real. I was watching. I saw Morris Chestnut today at the gym. He was in Boys in the Hood. Every time I see him, I think Ricky.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay. Anyways, but yes, they're going to Powerhouse Dance
Yes, and non-intensity.
in
And
Cincinnati.
not intensity. And
That's just right down the street.
I was gonna say speaking of South Central, but that's just wrong. So the group number is Rosa Parks.
I mean, that was Atlanta, stupid.
No, that wasn't Atlanta.
It was
that was Alabama.
Montgomery.
Atlanta.
Get your Black history together.
It was in Dayton, Ohio.
It's March,
Right.
guys.
You said, "Oh no, it happened in Atlanta."
Was that?
Somebody did not read the Rosa Parks book.
I did not. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
need to get your
I'm
life.
from Albuquerque.
That's no excuse.
I knew about Bless Me Ultima and all kinds of stuff. I didn't know about
Oh well, I know
The
about
solos are Kendall. Hers is called "Look at Me Now" because Abby
at
wants
me
to
now.
pay extra attention to her facials. Maddie's is breaking down the wall because Abby wants her to break down an emotional wall because she's been in the same
don't think- I
emotional
don't think-
bubble for the last
I
several
don't think
weeks.
Maddie has any issues breaking down walls.
The duet is Paige and Chloe. Chloe finally gets a duet. Paige finally gets a duet, but Abby kind of gives a little dig about it. Do we think the dig made sense? Was Kelly just being Kelly and overreacting?
Kelly was being Kelly and overreacting. Let it go, Kelly. Like, they have a duet. Remember the last time a parent got all overreactedness
Uppity.
and engaged instead of disengaging? And
It was
that
bad
duet,
for everybody.
that duet got taken away. So
Duet got taketh.
Taketh from it.
giveth and taketh.
Did it get taketh? It almost
Yeah,
got
it
taketh,
did.
but it didn't actually get
Well,
taketh.
they actually
When, no, Dig.
one are you talking
Remember
about?
Dig?
Yeah.
dig the
It
the
almost
first time.
did,
Yeah.
No, the first time it got taken away.
They should have buried it. It should have been taketh away forever.
Do we really think that Jill actually wanted Kendall to be
Yes.
Rosa Parks?
Yes.
Right? Yes, I
Of
do.
course.
I agree, Tony.
Jill wants Kendall to be in the spotlight. Kendall apparently doesn't have any special parts. Jill is doing all this stuff and getting nothing in return.
But
She's getting things. Kendall's improved so much.
She has improved. Jill should just be happy with that. But no, Jill wants Kendall in the forefront, and I get it. You know, you want your child to be in the front, but at the same time, like, Jill,
Really, Jill?
have a seat.
Have a seat on that bus, because for you to have Kendall to be Rosa Parks, okay, first of all, fine. Nia is the token African American on the show. All good. We get it. We're okay with it. Secondly, to have a non-African American be Rosa Parks in kind of a racially charged piece.
Yeah.
I mean, it is ridiculous.
It wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't have made any sense.
It would have been more offensive to have the white girl being Rosa Parks in the already offensive routine about Rosa Parks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for Jill to really want to take it there, Jill, I don't know, what are you smoking? Because it would not have worked.
It's kind of like the all-white cast of The Wiz that I heard about a few years ago back south.
It happens. The thing is, though, about what it does happen.
It happens.
It doesn't happen very often.
True.
Especially in Hollywood. We've had this discussion so many times before where we, say.
Well,
They try to, they're cast not based on talent, but it's also looks matter.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on looks being mad. I've been on a tangent this week about looks and superficial people. Can't stand them. Sorry.
What was this? Don't call the kettle what?
Kettle,
and that the pot calling the kettle black. What are you trying to say?
Boom. So I think she said it.
You think I'm superficial? Get your life, Giselle. I'm the most humble person on this panel.
Oh,
and I say
we're
that
all
humbly.
a little superficial, and we're all
Not at all.
nice people.
I'm
You
not.
can't
I'm
be
not
in this industry
superficial at
unless
all.
you are a little superficial.
I'm not.
You're too pretty to not be superficial.
I mean, I just think I'm an average-looking boy just trying
If
to make
you
it.
don't think that Tony is superficial, even in the slightest,
I'm not superficial.
let us know in the
Marissa?
comments.
No, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Not even a little bit.
No, no comment.
It's hot in here. Are you delusional? Do you need some oxygen?
She just doesn't want us to talk.
She's
I'm
like,
supposed
yeah,
to
it's
Switzerland
not
over
bad.
here. I'm
Kidding.
Switzerland.
Anyway, but I heart you. Jill gets what?
Nothing. I'm
He's
Jill.
working.
Jill?
Jill?
Jason is working
Jill?
on his facial expressions.
I
like
think
Kendall.
Jill doesn't even necessarily care if. Oh, let's see it.
Happy.
Excited.
Excited. Mad. Sad.
Kidnapped.
I
don't know.
Thank you. That was some kind of method acting.
And the SAG AFTER award goes to.
Tony Moore.
Exactly. That means I'm one step away from getting that Oscar.
The thing about Jill that I'm not mad at Jill for wanting Kendall to be, in the spotlight, but there comes a point though when you know that nothing Jill does is gonna work. Either Kendall's gonna kick ass in her solos and show everyone why she should be in the spotlight or not. Jill with all these, going to Abby, throwing people under the bus, wanting Kendall to be Rosa Parks, it's just dumb already. It's like, more of the same.
I think it does work. I think it's working. I think Kendall has improved so much. Abby has been giving her more attention. She does see that Jill's making an effort. I know Jill even knows that half the time the things that she does don't work. But aside from the times when she would perhaps literally, not literally, but when she really does throw someone under the bus or maybe talk badly about someone, which hasn't happened as often as it has in the past, she does most everything in the open.
Yeah.
And what she's doing, every other mom could do as well.
Well, and you can't fault Jill for having the balls to do some crazy stuff.
She does. She has balls. I feel like if Kelly did that kind of stuff with Brooke and Paige, they would rise up the pyramid and they would get better.
Fortune smiles on the bold. So, I mean, more power to you, Jill. I think it's I think she's a little left for my own personal liking. And tonight, it just really was the icing on the cake with wanting Kendall to be Rosa Parks. That was just like, you are that desperate to get your child. You want her to be something that clearly she cannot be, that
Right.
wouldn't work. Was not right.
I mean,
There are
Abby
ethics.
always likes a little competition. So,
It's like having an Asian kid
But that's
being
not.
Rosa Parks.
I mean, that's not. There was no need for a competition.
there was no need
Nia,
for a competition.
you're Rosa Parks.
But Abby
Done.
wouldn't tell Nia that until after Jill was harassing her about it.
So Abby's to blame too.
A little bit. A little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
What do we think about the costumes of the duet?
I don't think they're too racy. I think they were cute. That's what people are. I've seen kids that are 6 years old midriffs, full on makeup,
Mm-hmm.
like fake lashes. The costumes were great. They weren't too racy. They weren't too risque. I thought they worked perfectly. I mean, I think
They were like swimsuits.
yeah, I think of the choreography.
Oh, and it sounds like we have a caller. Hello, caller. You are calling into AfterBuzz TV. Who's calling?
I'm Rishka 11.
Hi, Mariska. This is one of our active tweeters.
Hey,
Hi.
Thank you so much for calling. Where are you calling from?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
From
you're from the
Pennsylvania.
bird.
Ooh, so it's like
And in
it's
Pittsburgh.
way past your bedtime,
No, I'm so tired.
and you're staying up with us. I love it.
Yes.
What did you think about tonight's episode?
I told you.
Oh, it sounds like we're cutting out a little bit. Did we lose her?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear.
I can hear you now.
Oh,
I thought Jill was crazy.
Jill is crazy. I agree with you. I always think
Jill's a
Jill's
little
crazy.
cray.
She's more than cray.
There's the role of Rosa Parks.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
We're
It sound-
losing you.
Yeah, we're starting to lose you. Like, sounds like we're having.
Well, hopefully.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
I almost said something else.
Boo. What were you gonna say?
It's
Well,
Whoa.
it sounds like we're having testicles. So.
Technical difficulties.
Sounds like we're having technical difficulties. Perhaps she'll give us a call back.
Call back.
But we love when our tweeters and viewers and followers give us a call. It's always nice to put a voice to the
yes,
text.
God, honey.
God, honey. Candy apple style, kids.
First
Candy apples
off-
are
Oh, okay,
back.
can we talk about that now?
Wait. Before we discuss anything, where is Zach?
Where is that?
Zach's probably doing professional work as he should be, or at school
But
as he should be.
But I thought Zach was a part of the Candy Apples. What happened?
Maybe he'll be back.
He
You know
was
what?
temporarily there. He goes back and forth, remember?
Let's just admit, Cathy has a temporary team.
It's
She
like
does.
it's like Destiny's Child, the
It
second
is.
incarnation. You temporary. Which one are you? Are you Farrah? Are you Latavia? I don't know. You know, you can be replaced quickly.
I was so devastated
Like-
when Say My Name came out and they were replaced.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then Jalen's just,
Oh,
on hold.
Jalen's on hold.
On a veil.
No, he's not on a veil. He's on hold.
He's on
He's
hold.
on hold.
He's on hold. He's on retainer actually.
Oh,
with-
Jalen.
Oh, poor Jalen.
Oh, are we trying again, Mariska?
Yes, I'm right here.
There
you
she
go.
is.
Oh, you're
Yes.
coming in clear now. You got to make sure you stand still. Don't move.
I haven't moved. That's the funny thing.
Oh, do you have AT&T?
Yes.
See,
Okay, let's try this again. What did you think about tonight's episode?
Okay. Jill was crazy. I felt like Nia definitely deserved to be Rosa Parks, not because of her color of the skin, but because of how much she has improved over the season, and she was on top of the pyramid this week.
Boom.
well, I'm gonna also go with the color of her skin. I mean, who else was gonna play Rosa Parks?
But Nia also, I think I have to say, she is always on point emotionally, even
Yeah.
when she's a
Yeah.
couple beats off.
I just felt like she deserved it. I just didn't see no other person getting it.
Yeah.
What did you think of Candy Apple Style?
I don't like Cathy.
Okay.
Ooh,
No, she irks me. I feel like she starts a lot of stuff.
See, I agree. Like, she's the first person that gets to that competition and just yang, 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 yang.
And then when she loses, she shuts up. Like,
Oh,
where are you when you lose?
With her bodyguards.
With her tail between her legs, running with her
They
bodyguards.
wasn't even there for her when they let the moms into the room.
I know.
What-
Fired.
Who do you think are worse, Dance Moms or Dance Dad?
I think dance moms. are probably worse.
Really?
I mean,
Nah.
I was a cheerleader, and cheer moms are just off the chart.
Well, they kill
Oh.
people. You saw, happened in Texas.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they look. If it's on Lifetime television for women in an after-school movie, it's legit. There was a
That's
Texas cheerleader kill mom situation in Texas. So yes, I agree with you. Cheer moms are full-on certifiably crazy.
More caffeine.
Thank you so much.
I kind of think moms and dads, whichever sport, are equal crazy because insert Rick.
Insert
Have
Rick.
you, so being in Pennsylvania, have you ever gotten to see the Abbey Lee Dance Company in the flesh?
I actually go to school near Clarion, Pennsylvania, and it's like 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. So I've been to the studio. I have met Holly and Nia in person
Cool.
when they came to Hershey, PA.
Oh.
I've
and
been
that was
there.
just by coincidence.
Oh, I was
wow.
gonna say, so you're a super fan, but okay, by coincidence. Have you been watching?
coincidence.
Have you been watching the show the whole time? Like, are you just a crazy Dance Moms super fan lover?
I've watched every episode since season 1, and since I go to college now, I watch it every Tuesday. I have a set time. Everybody in my hall knows, like, I watch Dance Moms in the TV lounge.
Are you one of those
So
people? Are you one of those people in college that would like do their schedule around their TV time?
Yes, I am.
I love it.
We do love it. Well, we love that you're watching AfterBuzz TV too as well.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about the show? Do you like the drama? Do you like the dancing? Like, what attracts you to the show every single week? Why is it so addicting for you?
I like the dancing. I just like how the girls are, like, just stay good friends regardless of all the drama around them
Yeah.
Good.
going on
Yeah.
between the parents.
Are you a dancer yourself?
No, I'm not.
Cheer
I'm just
only.
a cheerleader.
Well, you know what you can do when
Cheerleaders dance.
when you watch the AfterBuzz show online when we do our intro dance, because every week we have something different. You are more than welcome to do the intro dance with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will have a tutorial up on YouTube on how to do my particular intro dance. I liken it to a
Get
very
your life.
yeah.
Oh, did I hear a
That
Get Your
one.
Life?
Yes. Oh, you know what?
Word. You better get your life.
Good job.
Yes.
I just got told to get my life by an AfterBuzzer. Wow.
Bam. It
Boom.
spread. You know what I would like to see, and you can do this too. If people can find the song that we use at the beginning and do a video response to our video so
Yes.
we can see them dance to it.
We
That'd
would
be
love
great.
I
that.
have to dance tonight.
Do it.
I think you should do it. I think you should do it, or you should even get your Dance Moms TV group. You can do 2 responses. You can do one every week,
Yes.
and
yes.
and do a video
something
response on
different.
YouTube.
I would love it. I
And
would
I'll
love
retweet.
to see that.
I'll retweet that.
I'll definitely retweet it. Hashtag
Okay.
getting their life.
But you need to be doing my dance. Yes, no echo.
Sorry, we had a dance break moment. I hurt my arms.
I did too.
It's all. Oh.
Oh, yes, there you go. She got her life.
I live.
Well, listen, thank you so much for giving us a call. We love anytime you want to call in, you're more than welcome to. And
Yes.
let us know when you make that video.
Thanks. I'll make it next Tuesday when I'm back at school.
Have a
Awesome.
good night.
Have a great week.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Candy apple style. You know,
First off, that
Hold on. She just said to get your life.
I know.
I live
It's really late. She was delirious. It's really late where she's
like
at.
we are here.
That's awesome.
It was in Pittsburgh. It's like 5 a.m. She's probably so
She
sleep deprived.
said, she said, "Get your life."
She's like, "Get your-" and she said it very matter of fact. Get your
Get
life.
your life.
I was like, get your life. I was like, get your life.
Marissa loved it. She's like, yeah.
Candy apple style. Technique was amazing.
Yeah.
From the guys.
From the guys. Okay. Dance Dad Rick.
Oh.
Disclaimer: before we start our rant on this, I want to let you know we love Jalen. Yeah, but
Hold on. We love Jalen. We know that he's talented. We
Yes.
know that he's also especially young and that what he's doing is beyond his level.
there we go.
Keep that in mind.
But at
the
the
same
same
time, we're also comparing it to other dancers that are all different ages and that he's
Yes.
dancing with. And it's
Rick,
not personal.
No, it's the pot calling the kettle black. When he was like, "Your child does the same dance moves all the time." Hello. Jalen comes in spinning on his head during every routine that they have
Right.
done.
Always featured with doing
Always
that.
hip-hop.
Always featured doing the hip hop. Now,
Where's the technique?
where was him? Spinning around.
Where were his
and,
fouettes and his
kicks and
quadruple
all that kind of
pirouettes and his
stuff.
penchés and his
Now-
développés? I didn't see them.
Before we talk about the actual routine, let's talk about what was going on in practice.
Anthony reminded me of Abby.
Did he?
Yeah.
He wasn't name calling. I thought he was strict.
No, not name
I thought he
calling,
was
but
serious.
in the sense of Abby is like that with the girls, wanting them to, point their feet, do all that stuff and not baby them. He was like, I'm
I
not
think
gonna
that's
baby
just
them.
true of a professional, though,
Right,
not just Abby
Anthony.
Lee.
But here's the thing about Anthony, though. I'm sorry, Tony, to cut you off, but
But you're gonna cut me off anyway?
Yes, I am. Abby.
But he said sorry.
Abby comes from a different place. Abby, for some reason, it works on Abby. Her being controlling and her being who she is works for her. Anthony came across very LA, stuck up. I'm a professional dancer. I've toured with people. I'm almost like he was. I mean, I'm Anthony Burrell. I'm here teaching you guys. I'm a legend. Very, very arrogant.
No,
and
I don't think he came off that way. I think he came off as this. Cathy hired him to do a job.
Right.
Let him do his
And
job.
or Lifetime, because he
Right.
was on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition.
Right. Let him do his job. Like, he doesn't need Cathy, who
Sure.
obviously is not choreographing like Abby is, standing over him, or trying to baby them. Like, let him do what you brought him there to do.
Right.
And I agree to some extent that that's what should have happened. However, in the real world and real dance studios where you have, and okay, case in point again, in New Mexico, I worked for a studio where the studio head was exactly like Cathy.
Mm-hmm.
And if Cathy is writing you the check to be here to choreograph, she kind of has a say in how things go, and that's how really things go down.
Right.
What I'm saying, what I got from Anthony watching the show and from watching Ultimate Dance Competition as well, is that the image he's putting out as a choreographer. You don't have to. Tabitha Napoleon, world-renowned choreographers that have worked on everything, would never act that way if they had been brought into choreographers for a team. They
Right.
know how to. They know there's a sense of being humble, I guess, that goes along. And Anthony just gave off very like he was over it. He stormed out. He came back, and it seemed all very contrived and
And a little
staged.
staged.
Personally,
Of course.
so maybe Anthony was acting. Anthony, my bad. Don't kick my ass. In your defense, maybe Lifetime wanted you to be that, but we're on the street as they didn't. So I'm gonna leave it as I was not feeling his character this week on the show. However, as far as the choreography goes, kudos to you for getting those boys to point their toes, get those high kicks and whatnot. And Jalen, yes, dance dad Rick, get your son into some ballet, some jazz, anything other than what he's currently doing, what we're currently seeing, because it's looking tired.
I liked Anthony's teaching style.
Me too.
Because the thing is that with a lot of those boys, and we've mentioned this in the past with the other set of boys, is that a lot of them come in being the best as a soloist. They don't know what it's like to be in a group. They don't know what it's like to act as a team. And they've only ever been told that they're really, really great and they're really, really wonderful. And in this case, whether it's technically or timing or, whatever, they've never really been told otherwise, except for like, okay, good, but it can be better. And what I liked about Anthony is that he was honest without being brutal. And so I thought that in that sense, and I think especially with Jalen being this young professional, he needs to be able to adapt to different teaching styles and as he
Sure.
grows up, learn to not take criticism so personally, learn to not take mistakes so, over the top, because, he needs to be able to just
I agree.
take it
Right,
in. And
well,
not just him, but the other guys as well. The other guys just kind of faded in the background. I don't even know that their names.
I know. I agree. I agree that all those fundamentals and all those ideals and ideas are definitely on the money, of course. However, we're talking about Anthony's character on tonight's show. That's where I'm
Right.
coming from. I think Anthony.
The sunglasses were unnecessary.
Yeah, I think Anthony's a great
I don't
choreographer.
know.
I've seen Anthony perform live. He's definitely very talented and knows what he's talking about. But when you're on a show I think he could have been shown in a more positive light and still gotten the point across to the boys.
But he was shown that same way in Abby's Ultimate
Right,
Dance
douchebaggy.
competition. I mean, it's not necessarily douchebaggy.
Douchebaggy.
I didn't think it was douchebaggy.
No, I think it's very much like, I've already told you to point your feet, and you're still not pointing your feet. Point your feet.
Right.
But
the boys in the question we're talking about Jalen too. I don't think Jalen should be in this mix at all. I think they should get
he's
him
a
out of there.
specialty. He's like he comes out to do a few tricks and everything like that to add to the performance. But when you have guys who are technically doing all this stuff and you have someone who can't join them but can
It
only
just
join
looks
them for
weird.
something specific.
You don't need
It's
him.
like when
It's
Vivi
like-
was on the swing
Right. You don't.
a
There's,
couple seasons. I think it was last season.
I'm
Because
all
she
about trimming
couldn't
the
keep
fat.
up, and then it brought the age down. I
Yeah.
just thought it was silly. I don't know. Agree to disagree. Let us know if you're at home, whether you're in the chat room or tweeting us. What do you think? Was it inappropriate? Was it not? What do you think about the Candy Apples in general? This all boy team. I don't know what's up with that. And Vivi. What do we think about Vivi?
She's so checked out.
Her
does
5-minute private lesson,
Vivi does not want to
her
dance.
model montage,
And the costume the mom was
and
trying to
also
put
the
on.
little dance
Yeah.
at the grand
But
opening.
it's all about like she wants. I guess Cathy wants Vivi to feel a part of, but Vivi really is like, I'm cool just standing next to you and watching everybody else do this. Like, I'm good. Stop trying to force me.
Right. Vivi's thinking about, I'm gonna go pop a Pop-Tart into the toaster and kick it, Mom.
Pop-Tart sounds good right now.
Pop-Tart sounds delicious.
Guys, I'm still back to the Anthony thing, and not to digress again, but I think, like I said, I think Anthony's amazing. I've seen his work live professionally, not in the reality TV show. He's a brilliant choreographer. My whole thing is that you don't have to. You can be direct. You can be blunt, and you can also be you can get your point across and be informative without having to be harsh or tactless.
I don't think he was harsh.
I think he was. I think he came across very not unfavorable.
What I liked though is that this time around, Cathy made the positive decision of bringing Anthony to the competition and running things, whereas previously when she had Nick Anthony, he didn't come to the competition and he wasn't there to figure stuff out. He wasn't available, or whatever. and what I did like also was that before they went on, Anthony said, what I'm doing is because I want you guys to be great. And he knows that his reputation is on the line.
Right.
Because some of these, choreographers, dancers, they come on a reality show. Yeah, it's exposure. Yeah, it's publicity, but it's not always good. Point. And so, I think the fact that he has his name on the line, he wants to show that maybe that's who he is. And the fact that he can, he is looking out for
the best interest
of the team.
Sure, that makes sense. And the boys, for once on this show, the boys actually were in sync and looked really good. Again, going back to Jalen, they didn't need Jalen. Jalen could have easily been. They should have actually trimmed the fat and got Jalen out of there and had him maybe do
and
a
had
solo.
it be like a full technical dance.
Because it was exquisite once Jalen wasn't there. And again, Dance Dad Rick, I'm not saying Jalen. I don't have to give a disclaimer anymore. what I'm saying is that it didn't mesh well. It did not look good. It was him being there was as bad as a dig routine.
It was an afterthought. It's kind of like going, okay, we have a group dance. You guys do now how are we gonna fit Jalen in?
Right. Like,
Jalen will slide in and he'll
head trick, be the cute little kid.
Well, let's talk about these routines then. Let's do it.
Let's
get into everything on stage. So Kendall was the first one to go. Facials. She had to work on her facials and her feet. Sorry, there's something in my eye if you're watching the video feed. But what do we think about Kendall?
To be quite honest with you, Kendall doesn't really stand out to me ever. She's like a blur when it comes to the other girls, because the only one that ever dances with, the only two that ever give me anything that I want to live for as far as dancing goes is Chloe and Maddie.
Yeah.
Everyone else is. I don't understand why these dancers on this show don't dance with any kind of intention, any kind of passion. It's all like I said when we're watching it. The dance is dancing them. They're not dancing the dance. They're not attacking it. They're not living in it. They're not marinating in anything. It's just like they're constantly moving for 2 minutes doing. Maddie giving me the same turn sequences every week. It's just nothing desirable. I'm sorry, I cannot lie about this anymore to you after.
Were you ever lying about it?
Yeah,
I was trying to see the silver lining and everything, but I can't anymore. These dancers need to really pull up. They need to come with it. They're at the stage now where there's power.
Kendall just needed to hit it. Like she,
right?
I felt
Again,
like
intention.
She wasn't. I feel like she was when she should have been this. She was just.
I don't think she was that, but I think she was that instead of that. Like she did it. She did the movement, but she didn't hit it.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you guys not hear what I said?
No, I know. I completely agree.
Yes, Jason J. Carter, we heard everything you said.
With Jason J. Carter with 2 phones.
I'm getting my life.
She reminds me a lot of Madison from Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. And a lot of what we said about her is that, she's improving so much. Her lines are amazing. Her body's incredible. She's gorgeous. But emotionally, maturity, she's maybe not there.
I don't know if I would compare Kendall to Madison.
Well, I think Kendall's improved a lot. And I think every time that she does go on stage, she does improve. I don't think she's at a first place level yet. But I think you can definitely see a difference in her facial expression. She started off amazing. She ended amazing. She lost it in the middle, and she especially loses it when she's doing her forte turns.
Yeah.
Or when she has a lot of
looks
acrobatics.
tired.
She has the flaring nostrils, which I sometimes get when you're really tired and you lose a little bit of endurance. But I also loved it. We had to see the whole dance too.
I also think
I don't know
that
about that.
Abby, okay, being a choreographer myself, when I choreograph for a dancer, I display to them the emotion and the power and the attention I want them to have, because you lead by example. A true artist will demo and show. Abby doesn't demo. Abby choreographs through spoken word. So I think that's why a lot of stuff is lost on these kids, because there's no one to actually show them.
And she says face, but it's like, well, wait, what kind of face am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to smile? Am I supposed to be happy?
Exactly. If Abby was actually choreographing and demoing for these kids the way being dancers already, they're visual and they're visual learners, and they also learn by doing.
I think that's what also separates Nia from some of the girls. Is you see on this one, for example, is that, you know, she's supposed to be playing a character, and she researched the character, and she really looked into the history of the character, and she did her homework.
Yeah.
And a lot of the girls, they just go, they learn the counts, they listen to the music, but they don't actually listen to the lyrics. They don't actually know what the song means. And I think if they actually took the time, and that's something that, you know, isn't necessarily something that Abby has to choreograph or Abby has to tell them to do, but if they learn that little element of like, go home, listen to the lyrics.
Get into it.
I think that would make all the difference.
I agree 100%, Giselle. 100%.
Maddie.
Oh my gosh.
Her little peasant dance.
Maddie is just
a vision.
Maddie dances like a 23-year-old girl at an audition for the biggest Broadway role ever.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, for her to be that young and to have that type of presence and to have that type of skill, like, that's amazing to me.
But that's because I agree with you 100% on there as well, Tony. And
Yeah.
I think the reason why Maddie has that is because, one, Maddie's talented, but Maddie has already, it's clicked with her. She realizes about dancing with intention. She realizes she has to connect with her music and her.
It comes naturally to her, and it doesn't come naturally to everyone.
And she does the work. She does the work.
When you're watching a lyrical routine, you should not look at a dancer like, oh, they're gonna turn now. They should already be turning before you even notice that they're turning.
Yeah.
It's everything on the way to has to connect. With watching Kendall and Chloe, and even watching Nikaya, and the reason I'm bringing her up is because I was watching an episode earlier. When you watch, it's like, okay, they're gonna turn now, they're gonna leap now, they're gonna tumble now. There's no fire that's guiding the way, no fluidity at all. And with Maddie,
they're going through motions.
Maddie not only sits in the pocket, and when I say in AFTERBUZZ, being in the pocket means that you're perfectly in sync with your movement and the musicality is so together that it's just effortless. Maddie does that, as well as Maddie knows she's a star. But you may not see it. You may not see that element of these girls' personality, but I'm sure off camera there is divitude every which way and from these kids.
We see it sometimes.
But Maddie knows she's good. And also, when you have a title and a reputation to uphold at a young age, by being told by your mom that, Maddie, you're a champion, you're a champion, you're a champion, you were going to make sure you stay a champion. It's very ego-driven.
And she has, a little sister who's looking after her as well.
Yeah. But I also think that Maddie pushes herself. Like, Maddie wants to be better. So, she doesn't rest.
I do too.
On her laurels.
She knows what's at stake.
Brooke.
And then we had the unfortunate wardrobe malfunction of Jalen.
First off, I just thought that the wardrobe changes. First off, that's too many. They had like 3 wardrobe changes in a 2-minute dance.
It was unnecessary.
No, I mean, I think we would have. First off, I didn't even get. What was the concept?
I don't
Does
remember.
anyone know? Does anyone know the concept? No.
I don't remember.
Like, I think it started off well. I think one costume change would have been great, but I think it's also about preparation. Like, someone should have made sure that all the elements were there and easy to reach before. Just like he went for the little hanky thing, and he's like, can't find it, that should have been placed properly.
There were too many bells and whistles, and I feel like they were unnecessary.
Yeah,
especially
completely.
if he's supposed to be giving this routine that's unlike any other.
Right.
It's only him for this one. It's his specialty of dance, his genre of choice. And so I just don't think that you need all of that.
No, I thought it was too much, and
storming off stage was not.
He's a kid.
But his dad, he's a professional. And he's a professional, and
But that was not his dad. Who was that guy
I
that
don't
went
know.
after him?
Maybe it was a producer of the show.
No, I
I'm
don't
not
think it
sure.
was a producer.
Who was it? I
I
think
don't know.
You know,
Was it must have been a granddad.
I would love to see Jalen. I think again, I've seen
Do something else other than spinning on his head.
Yes, and I actually do some.
He didn't
end
really
of the
have a lot of
choreography.
head spins today, but he did just
He tricked.
a little
He definitely
tricks.
tricked, and you know, and when the dad tried to check Kelly about, you know, what has your daughter done outside of
Doing the same moves.
Okay, well, dance.
Who gonna
Dad
check me,
Rick.
boo?
I mean, you can't really say check Kelly for that when we've seen your son do the same thing on this show repeatedly.
And kudos to Kelly for reading him the house down.
I mean, that library was so open you couldn't even lock that.
That was a 24-hour library.
That was like an audio book on.
It was an
on
unnecessary.
repeat.
I mean, we'll talk about that in a second, but I thought that whole section was unnecessary with the moms and the dads in the room.
Well, when you're being came after, is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure. You got to go back in hard.
She came after you.
That's what she said. So then the duet
Dirty.
with Chloe and Paige, I didn't think it was bad.
No.
I thought they looked really good.
I thought they were off at some times.
They were off at some times, but I also have to acknowledge the difficulty that they danced to a purely instrumental song, and especially with them being so young, like even at an old age, dancing to something that's purely instrumental, not a lot of beats to count. You're really just dancing to just sounds. That's really difficult.
I don't
and they're
think
very young, and it's not always an 8 count. Sometimes you have a 10 or a 6, and so it sometimes younger kids have a hard time.
Abby needs to realize that you can't always give two people a duet just for the sake of, like, let's say me and you did a duet. Just because I like you and I think you're really cute and all doesn't mean I like your green shirt you have on and you're a princess. Doesn't
Nothing
mean
wrong
that
with
me and you are gonna have a smashing duet. It's chemistry with dancers. Yes, a professional can dance with whoever, but I've seen many a pas de deux and many of a duet that has sucked, and the two dancers separately are
They're
amazing.
just like stiff.
Right, there's no
next to each
chemistry,
other.
and Abby wants to, like, it's like, stop with that already. I thought today's duet was great. They danced okay together because they were both blonde, and so you
And
got
they're
caught up in the
friends,
whole
yeah.
in the look of them.
Twins, Siamese thing.
Right, but if I had to really dumb it down and really get technical and pick it apart, I would say, excuse me, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was definitely a 6.
I would say like an 8.
No, I'd say a 6. You say tomato, I say clamato.
Rude.
Why is that rude?
Clamata?
Clamato, tomato drink. Why is that rude, Tony?
A 6.
It wasn't standing out. None of the duets I've seen thus far have been.
I liked Maddie and Kendall's.
Sugar
Yeah.
and
That was
spice.
one of my favorites.
Right.
Sugar and spice. Yeah.
I mean, Dig that deserves an Emmy.
Let's talk about Rosa Parks.
Hey, you back to the buzz, everybody.
Amaze Balls. I liked it a lot.
Their group numbers are always good.
They
so
they
together.
always dance so well
It's a
together.
real
Yeah.
team.
They all dance so well together until Brooke just left the stage.
She did, but I didn't
Waiting
think
at
you
the bus
could
stop.
tell. I thought like she kind of, even though she was actually scared out of her mind, I thought the emotion reflected well of.
It wasn't that big of a misstep.
No, it wasn't that big. I think in the midst of everything happening, it almost looked like it was supposed to be a part of it.
I loved it.
So she got to the seat and she was like,
Here's the thing with the group number. The reason why they dance so well together is because one, they all like each other, and I'm sure that they rehearse a lot together besides what we see on TV. But each one of those dancers has an element or a talent that they bring together that when it's like colors, it's like Skittles. Like I always say, every different flavors, but they taste great together. So Abby really needs to. Abby really needs to.
That's a good choreographer.
Right. Yeah. Abby needs to realize the strengths between them separately for duets for the future. Okay,
Yeah.
this strength works good with this. Her tumble works well with her turns, or but together collectively as a group, the reason why they dance together is because they're like-minded in the sense that they like each other, and they've danced together for so long. It's like I always say, how girls they sync up with their periods. I know it sounds really, really gross, but they've learned each other. They're intrinsic. There's an intrinsic nature between them as a group. So
And
that's
they're probably
why
all synced up on their periods.
probably, or some of them haven't. But that's why every episode the group number looks great, regardless of Tony's doing a wow with so you look very Nene Leaks right there. Wow.
I loved the part where they
can't
walked
with
on
him.
Nia's back. Thought that was a beautiful moment.
Racial.
It was a beautiful moment.
Oh, when they
walked
stepped on her?
They're like, I'm gonna walk on your back. It's
Yeah.
gonna symbolize our
Nia's
struggle.
emotion was strong and it was beautiful, and no one's
Yeah.
hat fell off.
No one's hat.
No
Oh,
one's hat
God
fall
forbid a hat fall off.
Right.
Now, the boys group number, on the other hand, I think one thing that we've said over and over, this isn't a real team. They don't get each other. A lot of them are soloists separately.
Right.
They're for
Outside of
hire.
Penny
They're
Apples.
free agents.
Or they're from out of town. And I think one thing that should be said about Abby's choreography, and that we've said over and over, is that, Mackenzie, you rarely do you feel like Mackenzie's a lot younger.
Right.
Because even if she's given an easier part, or even if she's, she changes choreography so that it looks like she's in sync with everybody else. Whether
Right.
it's, doing a canon of some sort where she's the end and she only does like the very easiest section. Or if like 2 girls go off and do one thing and then 3 do the crazy advanced forte turns into the, whatever. And with this one, it was very evidently like Jalen's just kind of chilling off stage.
Yeah. Technique.
There's no method
and
to
that's not anything against Jalen.
It's not effective.
That's more the choreography
Sure.
and perhaps Cathy's direction that she wanted to go in, because she said it was supposed to be all about him, but he was in the beginning. He like got the crowd worked up, which was great. It was cute. He looked really cute. His expression the whole time was adorable.
With moves
But
no
then it
one's
was
ever
like,
seen
oh,
before.
bye. Wait, you're supposed to be the star, and then you like disappeared. Yeah, with moves that no one's ever seen before.
Hip hop moves that no one's doing that are hard and. Oh.
If anything, I was so impressed by some of those other guys, the extensions.
Oh, for sure.
Legs for
This
days.
way,
Yeah.
and then that way, and
There
then
was one that
leaps.
came from the back.
Illusion over, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
illusion was great. That's what.
And
that's
effortless.
what we need to see. That's the type of dancing we need to have. The ultimate dance competition caliber of dancing on Dance
Yeah.
Moms, because
Yeah. Right.
they were a joy to watch. The choreography was good. Anthony's a great, amazing choreographer.
Really is.
He knows how to set choreography on males, because not everyone can do that. A lot in Los Angeles, there's a trend of, well, it's more of men are supposed to dance like men, but you have men dancing very effeminate, which I think if you can hit it, looks amazing. But some choreographers are not able to choreograph for boys because they're still stuck in that whole, like, we're going to whack and crack and give you that kind of what they're calling gay hop. That's what they're
That's a
calling
term.
it. I've heard gay hop for years.
Get your life.
Yeah, which is, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it's hot. It looks great. So Anthony knows how to set choreography on males, which looks great.
Yeah.
And plus the technique, Anthony's very technically trained.
Yeah.
Anthony's not a one-trick pony at all. He can do everything. So kudos for Cathy Lee getting it right with the boys this week.
You say Cathy Lee.
Yep. I was just gonna go with it. But they came in second.
I
Kudos
swear.
for Barbara Walters for getting everything good this week.
I swear, Jason has been a part of Dance Moms after show, and the cast rarely
share.
changes, and yet he cannot get anyone's name
Kudos
right.
to Tyra Banks for getting those boys together, man. For Catherine
Kudos to
McPhee.
Mark Anthony.
Kudos for Catherine McPhee for handling those boys this week.
Well, Kendall ends up getting second next to Maddie, which I thought was incredible.
Yes.
Jalen gets sixth, which I was like, okay,
You
cool.
know.
That's
Oh, well.
not
You know.
surprised. Kind of surprised he even got sixth, actually.
Kettle Pop Black.
Duet got first.
Congrats.
Candy Apples got second. The group got first.
Yay.
And
There was no Cathy insight once
the
they
moms
won.
walking into the room, I just thought was completely unnecessary. Like, oh, we're all gonna go
But-
over to cute, and it was like, what is this?
But it's just
I
like
felt like it was like what was the Nick Cannon's old show on MTV?
Wild and Out.
Wild and Out. I thought it was like a Wild and Out Yo Mama
No,
competition.
first of all, they were only doing what Cathy would normally do, is just saunter up in their room and be like, "Oh, hi,
Giving her a taste of her own medicine.
Yeah, and then she of course is like, "Oh, one bring it up."
We're winners. We did
Wah.
play.
She's like Charlie Brown.
Wah, 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 wah. I wonder why they did that. That was always so striking to me.
What?
Wah, wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah, wah,
like-
wah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I did
ma'am.
do my homework today. Wah, 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 wah.
But on Muppet Babies, she talked. You saw was her socks.
Okay, we'll continue this discussion a little later. Let's move on to predictions.
Boom.
I ain't ready for predictions.
Tell you more.
I predict I'm having a Big Mac after we leave here.
Predictions.
I predict I'll have a supersized fry as well.
Predictions.
I predict that
I will have a 10-piece nugget.
we will see the same shenanigans as we have before.
But I mean, anything specific?
No.
I agree with Tony. It's next week on Dance Moms, the same thing. This week, your dance will be called the wooden door. Why? Because the door is wood and it opens. Really feel that emotion. Dumb.
Wait, isn't Asia coming next week?
I did hear a rumor that Asia's supposed to come next week and she's replacing Mackenzie.
Nice. And we'll get
dramas. And this was the last week of the 2-hour episodes, right?
Thank God.
I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
AfterBuzz, we love it, but 2 hours of Dance Moms is a lot.
2 hours of Dance Mom. By the first 30 minutes, I was like,
big man.
I was like, we've only been 30 minutes into this.
Super size.
Don't get me wrong, I do love it though.
I do
love it. I just don't like when they drag it on so long and it just seems like it's fake.
The parts that I like are the non-dancing parts. Like I like the outing with Abby and Holly. I like the speed dating last week.
Mackenzie putting lipstick on Abby. I just have to point that out.
That was very cute too.
It's nice to see Abby in those. I almost feel like she wants to hug Mackenzie. Like she wants to nurture these kids. Abby loves those girls to death.
Speaking of nurturing, we didn't even touch on the fact that she actually sat down and had a conversation with Paige.
True.
Like it wasn't yelling. It was an actual sit down.
I want the best for you.
Yeah.
You're right.
Kudos to you, Abby.
We've been saying that though. Abby ultimately underneath the harshest.
She does. Those are her babies.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to next week. More shenanigans. Chloe's gonna cry, but I think it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
It's gonna be a good cry, a healthy cry.
Thank you so much for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's after show for Dance Moms. Tony, where can we find you?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on @Lounging with Tony on all platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on my website, loungingwithtony.com. You can also catch me here on AfterBuzz TV Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for the RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5 After Show.
Jason J. Carter.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, you can find me online at Facebook at Jason J. Carter, on Instagram now at the Jason J. Carter, and you can also catch me here on AfterBuzz for the Grey's Anatomy After Show, as well as Sundays for the Braxton's Family Values After Show. Tons of cool stuff, and on Twitter at JJC Forever.
Hey, and I'm Giselle Ugarte. You can find me at Giselle Ugarte all over social media, as well as Sprinting Stilettos TV on YouTube. So we will see you next week, same time, same place. Give us a call, tweet us, comment, like, subscribe, share, and we can't wait to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.